This is an all signs reading. It's also a timeless reading, so whatever time you're finding this, the messages in these cards might be relevant to you. Trust your gut. Go with whichever one calls to you. But if you want more information on which of the cards I'm using today, I'll run through them all one by one, and then we will go into each of the groups, and the timestamps for each group will be below in the description, along with more details about my services. And if any of this resonates for you, you can book personal readings with me as well by the calendar link below. So without any further ado, I'll just go straight into the cards. So the first pile we've got, which is group number 1, we have the Egyptian Art Nouveau deck with a lovely, I think this is red jasper supporting the reading. And the second deck we've got is our classic Rider-Waite. This is my Ride or Die deck. I use this deck for most of my readings, and then the other decks support those readings. And today it is supported by emerald stone. I believe that is emerald. And of course, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the classic Rider-Waite imagery there. And then the third pile is the Wildwood Tarot. This is my Into the Woods readings, so these are a lot more earthy, a lot more spiritual, ancestral, or maybe even karmic messages come from this deck. And today it's supported by the selenite. If you need a longer minute to choose which deck, just pause the video here and either pick a card you just like the look of, or just go with your gut to whichever pile you're most drawn to, and then pop down into the description box and find the timestamps below, or pick a pile reading. So I'm just going to give our deck a quick shuffle. This is beautiful, one of my favourite decks. It's quite small, but the images are very powerful. One of my favourite to use. So messages do we have for the collective for 2025, or whenever you happen to be finding this reading? Okay, let's go. Okay, what's going on in... So starting off the reading with the King of Swords crossed by the Seven of Wands. So this speaks to me of somebody who has things to say, but maybe on a bit of a back foot or on a defensive. You see, with the Seven of Wands, it's showing me here there's probably multiple things going on in your life, or a way of being held back. But then you've got the King here that actually has a lot of clarity on the situation, a lot that they want to say, but I guess it's a case of filtering how you say it. But that's at first glance at the current situation. Let's get the supporting cards. So we have the Three of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Justice card, and the Two of Wands in the supportive energy here. Okay. So here is somebody who has had to make a decision, probably based on their gut, probably based on something that they already know, because the King of Swords here, with the King of Swords energy crossed by the Seven of Wands, this kind of speaks to me as somebody who in the past you were faced with a decision or something that you had to come to terms with, and it may be that you had to make a decision based on not having all the information you would have liked. But somewhere along the line, because this is in the past position, you got what you needed and you know what you need to say, but you are worrying or ruminating about the reaction that might have. Now this could be with anything. I don't just do love readings, it could be something with work, with family, with friends. Something has come to light for you that you need to get off your chest. But with the crowning energy, apologies for the sound in the background, motorbikes here. But for we've got the Three of Wands at the top. So somebody here is preparing to move on, or they need to say something first, especially with the Justice card being in the immediate future position, supported by the Two of Wands, which is a very similar energy to the Three of Wands. So we've got the Three of Wands here, so the crowning position really represents thoughts. So you're wanting to move forward from something or towards something, but it's not yet in action, because in the supportive grounding energy is the Two of Wands. It's almost like you're at research stage, and it might be what is stopping you is the Seven of Wands here. So it may be that you have had this idea or found out this thing back here, you've sat on it or are currently sitting on it, and you know that you need to take an action, or you need to say the thing, right? Because that's what the King of Swords is. So like the Queen of Swords is very much about your internal dialogue. So when you are getting clarity within yourself about a situation. The King, however, is also about external expression of those thoughts. But it's not coming through. It's not happened yet, because there's something that's making you bite your tongue or hold back. But until you can overcome this energy, we can't get to justice in the immediate future. And I absolutely adore this justice imagery, by the way. Do you think she looks wonderful? Look. Very grandiose. But anyway, sorry, I digress. So, you know that you're right in what you need to say. It's just the reaction of others that is making you worry about saying it. But if you don't, you're going to get stuck at this Two of Wands, which is somebody standing literally here at a doorway, looking out into the world to what they want next, or where they want to go next. Or it doesn't, and I don't mean physically, it doesn't mean you're literally going to travel somewhere, although for some people it might mean that you're thinking you will end up travelling somewhere. It just means going from one state to another state, and the Two of Wands is about standing on that threshold. Moving up to the Three of Wands, which is where you're like, right, okay, I'm ready. So if you can see in the back of this card, the ships are closest, ships are coming in. But he's got his Three Wands, he's got everything he needs, he's done everything he needs to do, he's learned all of his lessons from this phase of life, he's ready to move on. And the wind is blowing, pushing him through. Whereas with the Two of Wands, his robes are very still. There's no wind here, there's no movement. There's just the imagining of the movement. You see, he's holding the earth on the other side of the Two Wands, which to me represent a doorway. But there's no movement. He's standing still, looking at it. He hasn't crossed over yet. Right. So that's kind of, if that's resonating, let's move on to the rest of the reading. Make some sense of where we're going, what this is about, and get some universal advice. Okay. So we've got the High Priestess, the Empress, the Nine of Wands, and the outcome is the Knight of Cups. Well, you got a good ending to whatever's going on here. Right, so in the current position, so this is the position of the self, this is also the advice, which is basically backing up what's going on over here. So what the High Priestess is asking of you in this current time is to go with your gut. to go with your instinct. You know that justice has to be served. Whatever's preventing you here, I'm getting fear. Again, fear of reaction from someone else. So there's almost like two energies in this reading, or it could be you across several energies. So it could be you, I don't know, wanting to tell your family that you want to move, country to go to a university, and them getting upset about it. Or it could just be you telling your partner that you want to change jobs and move in a different direction, and they might react to that. It could be anything. But the High Priestess here is telling you that it's both who you are at the moment, but it's also your higher self advice. That if we go against our intuition, go against what we know, we're just going to get stuck here at the Two of Wands, because that's as far as you'll be able to go without her, without you, without your inner knowing. I guess this is also a question of trust, especially with the Justice card here, because Justice represents balance, it represents fairness. So there's also a trust that not only is your intuition, which is being exercised here, it's also been exercised in the past with the Two of Swords, that it's going to get you to where you want to go, that the injustice that you are speaking of is paid back and rebalanced, either by these energies here that may not be very happy with what you're saying, but also that karma will deliver you what you need, what you deserve, what you fought for, or what you've waited for. I mean, this really does carry a whole energy of waiting. You're at a crossroads at the moment, or you're in between space. And until this knowledge is spoken, you're not going to move any further forward. You'll just be stuck in this middle row. I mean, it's quite striking even seeing this image on its side, really. Excuse me. It almost creates an intersection here of stuckness. That's a word. However, all hope is not lost, because the energy that surrounds you, and you might not be aware of it, is the Empress. So, I mean, this energy is very strong, that you need to act on whatever is going on over here. I mean, I'd be very surprised if you didn't know this already, and your intuition has been screaming this at you, because the Empress she's everything. She's all four queens. So she has a balanced perspective, as well as being supported by the High Priestess. So whatever it is that you are dealing with, whatever you are holding back in yourself that is concerned with this fairness, this reading is resting you assured that you are in a balanced place. That both your logical thinking mind and your intuitive subconscious mind seem to be in agreement with this. But that energy, that Empress energy, is also about reclaiming your own power, your own sovereignty, your own destiny to move in the direction that's right for you. I mean, she herself is clawing, that's not the word I'm after. Clutching, I think it's like a scepter or something here, and she's in absolute abundance, and she knows one wave of that scepter and the crops will grow, and that's what you've got to do over here with your King of Swords. Wave your scepter. Justice needs to be done in order for you to move on. I mean, this could also be just closure on a situation that's already passed. So maybe you got into some disagreement or fallout with a boss, a colleague, a partner, family, whoever. And there's not been the closure on it that you need to move on. This is things left unsaid. You're coming from a deep part of your intuition. You've got two of the most intuitive cards in the deck here. And the In your hopes and fears, we've got the Nine of Wands. I'm not wholly surprised that the Nine of Wands is here, because I find it's so similar to the Seven of Wands energy. It is somebody who is, it's the wounded healer. So the battle has been won, but there's been some damage emotionally. I mean, look at him, he's kind of battered and bruised, and depending on the surrounding cards, you can either see him as hiding or stealthily aware. So he's very much in a protective energy, like, do you know what, one more battering and I'm just going to, me and my 9 wands are just going to fall down. But at the same time, it's somebody who has built up his 9 wands to protect. Because over here, you've got 2 wands now, you could potentially, you're thinking about 3 wands. Being your hopes, you're hoping for 9 wands. So if you can move past this and find your abundance, but there's still that part of you there's a little bit like, maybe it could be fear-based, hesitant, reluctant. Again, I think it's to do with the people or energies over here, how they will perceive this movement, how they'll perceive this growth, how they'll perceive the direction you're going in. Or, I kind of send this in 2 groups almost. Or there's a concern about how you can protect your energy moving forward, or you can't, or you feel stuck from closure. You need to close down one situation in order to heal yourself, to move on to the next. Which brings us up to the Knight. The Knight of Cups. See, this is a totally different vibe. It's like a dramatic turnaround, so this isn't a potential outcome. It's you extending your passion, drive, creativity to something new, opening your heart to something new after a period of healing. Deep, 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 deep healing. Because under this Nine of Wands is an Empress who is backed up by a Priestess, all drawing their energy up together through deep healing to put the energy forward to somewhere else. This is very much a reading of moving on and moving forwards, but there are things still left unsaid. There are still remnants from the previous situation, which is either putting you to a complete stop or just dragging you along. Sorry, you're dragging it along. When we look around the room here, there's a lot of wand energy, a lot of passion, fire, drive, with a little bit of sword energy to kind of like cut it down a little bit, cut through the noise and the chaos that might be surrounding you. And we've got Major Arcana coming up in the immediate, and ending off with a nice bit of water energy to bring it down. What we don't have is any earth, which implies that this is very of the mind. This is a mindset, an emotional journey that you're going to take. So it may be that you don't move anywhere physical, or your physical surroundings may not change, but you as a person, you and where you want to be, moving closer towards your goals, that's what changes for you. If we can find our voice. And the thing with the King of Swords is he is very quick, he's straight to the point. He can sometimes be harsh and curt, but he's not upside down. If he was in the reverse, then I think, oh, maybe we've got an issue here, you know. Might have been harsh words exchanged, but no. He's in the upright, he's in the positive energy. He knows what he needs to do. But this block here, this crossing energy of worry and concern, and it's something that you feel deeply about, because again, wand energy, it's passion, it's fire, it's drive. So this is not some frivolous conflict. This is something that has come from you sensing a deep truth and trusting your own intuition, trusting yourself to make the right decision to carry you forward. This is very much a threshold month, which makes sense actually because we're in the midway point of the year. It's kind of a rest, refocus, reset time of year, or whatever time you might be watching this, you may have that energy come through where it's looking back on one half of the year and then using that, what we have learned, to move forward into the second half of the year to reach this balanced conclusion, which will then help us proceed forwards to whatever our passions may be driving us. Because see, the Knight of Cups, he's one of the slower knights, along with the Knight of Pentacles. He's not a swords knight, so he's not just rushing in. He's not the Knight of Wands that is just fueled by, pure blind passion. He is passionate, but he is also tempered, and that has come as a result of this in this reading, coming through this heavy Wands energy. It's almost like a trial by fire. I don't think you know really which way it's going to go after you have this conversation, or you speak your mind, or you come to some inner truth here with the King of Swords. The Justice card being in the immediate future as a result of the King of Swords crossing this boundary, saying the thing that needs to be said, doing the thing that needs to be done. We are hoping for a balance, hoping for the best outcome possible, but there's still a worry and fear that you may come out damaged somehow. But like everything in life, the things that don't kill us make us stronger. The things that don't kill us make us realise what we do and do not want in our lives. So we have a clearer path forward. See, we've got the river here in the background with the Knight of Cups flowing in the direction it needs to go. It's going with the flow. Keeping his heart open, and the sky is clear. Clear skies, open heart, go with the flow. I think whatever it is you're facing here, I mean, over this side of the reading feels kind of intense and mystical. Over here seems a lot more clearer and out in the open, like the Empress is sitting out in the open. The High Priestess just standing directly forwards, facing whatever it is that she knows. Although the High Priestess traditionally has her back to the world. So this indicates that a lot of inner work has been done to reach your Empress. And I don't read genders, so Empress can also be Emperor. The High Priestess can also be male. Very similar to Hierophant energy, but it's more introspective. It's a softer, more feminine energy. It's not concerned with contracts. It's not. The High Priestess doesn't demand everything need to be in the way that it is. It's not a card of orderliness. It's a card of intuition, of faith, of hope, of flexibility. Complements the Knight of Cups really well. It's there. And her robes in this, I can't remember in the Rider-Waite what colour her robes are, but it's just striking me here that she has these beautiful blue robes that also match the blue robes of the knight. Your passions lie here. Very passionate spread. So it's just how do you step through this doorway that's being blocked here. It's either blocked by someone or a group of people. There's definitely an energy that is stopping the movement forward, and I think it could be anything. You know what it is. You know what I'm talking about. To really open up your options, give you some space to breathe for the rest of the year. It's about dropping a weight, claiming your Empress energy, healing your wounds, facing your fears, going forwards into the rest of June with passion. Okay, I'm going to close off this reading with a little message from our crystals deck. This book of crystals, it's not an oracle deck, it's just a crystals deck. Excuse me one moment. And see what energy will be moving forward. If there's a crystal energy for you to embody from this reading to help move you forwards. And you've got rose quartz, compassion and love. That's actually what we were saying here. Passion, well, this is compassion, but compassion and love. And this kind of harks back actually to the point I was trying to make with the King of Swords. He can speak with compassion. He can be cutting, yes, when he's reversed, but he is upright. So that may be the key that unlocks this impasse you have reached. Is compassionate speech. So no matter what happens, you could be angry about something, upset about something. Communicating your wants and needs. You should always be able to communicate what it is that you need, what it is that you want, what it is that you believe in, what your values are, but do so with compassion and love. Embody the rose quartz crystal. I'm just going to read a bit on the back. So the rose quartz crystal is associated with the astrological signs of Taurus and Libra and the planet Venus. It is a stone of awakening, assisting with spiritual attunement while becoming qualities of compassion, tenderness and contentment. Just reminding me, it's just bringing the Empress to mind. It invites love of all kinds, making the wearer more receptive to affection from others and love from themselves. So this is where your others energy is clustering. This could be just you catastrophizing that whatever it is you want to express is not going to be well received. It's like hiding away in a way. It's like the king's just peeping from behind this little wands man. But if you approach your situation with compassion, love and understanding and accepting of whatever anyone's reaction may be, that will be the key. And understand that people come from a place of love. They might not understand where you're at, they might not understand your motives, they might not understand your point of view, but it's not personal, it's their life experience. And they can either accept or reject what you're going to say, but that does not stop you from pushing forward and going to find your ships, doing what is right by you and your Empress energy, and what your intuition is telling you, and the direction you want to move in, and the justice, a karmic justice that needs to be served. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for joining me here and spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe if this reading resonated with you, and if you are interested in a private reading with me, you can find my details in the description box below. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Welcome Group 2, this is your pick a card reading. You've picked deck number 2, which is our lovely traditional Rider-Waite. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross spread for the month of Collective, Group 2. Let's give the cards a good shuffle. And oh, we've got the 2 of Cups underneath, crossed by Judgment. Interesting, this might be a love reading. I I'm not strictly a love reading tarot reader. I read whatever comes through and pick up on other energies where and when. And if this reading resonates with you, you can find my details in the description box below. And please like and subscribe if this reading resonates with you. Okay, let's go group 2. Okay, so kicking off the reading with the cross part of the Celtic cross. Okay, so we have the 9 of Wands crossed by the Sun. Happiest card in the deck. Got the King of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the 8 of Wands, and the 6 of Swords. So this is very much an energy of moving on. It seems as though where you're at, you've either just been through a painful experience and are healing, or you're in the midst of it. See, the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. So clearly he's been through some stuff. He's all battered and bruised. But crossing by the Sun means that the Sun is coming out. So it's a bit of a dark night of the soul kind of energy here, actually. Concerned with emotions, the crowning energy here being the King of Cups. And the Ace of Swords in your recent past means that there's been some kind of revelation. Something has come to light, some clarity has been achieved from an experience that has really helped you develop your emotional maturity. However, you're still in a deep healing phase. But there is abundance crossing you soon. So the crossing card is either here to help or hinder you, and the Sun is the happiest card in the deck. It's not here to... It's here just to cast light on exactly what it is that you need to see to move forwards. And I think the Sun here is also probably casting light on some deeper wounds that you probably were not made aware of until that you reach this revelation over here. So this revelation could be about anything. It could be about work, a partner, friends, your plants, whatever this is. Something that has a revelation or a new way of thinking or a new idea that's like burst forward. This is air energy, Ace of Swords. And the aces, they're beginnings, but they can also be endings as well. So they can also be the end of one phase, the beginning of another. The end of misunderstanding and the beginning of understanding. Which has a deep emotional impact on your, psychological impact on your emotions. See, the crowning energy is very much about the headspace. So when I see an emotional card here, this is kind of, especially supported by the 9 of Wands, I'm getting that a triggering event has uncovered not only emotions connected to that event, but also maybe either the same emotion across different events or different emotions across different events. So let's say, for example, you find out one of your friends cheated you out of some money, and that event itself was upsetting and made you question not only this person, their character, or how you couldn't see that they were going to steal from you, but it also reminds you or brings up other times that other people might have cheated or stolen from you, things that you might have just brushed under the rug or forgotten about. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's happened, that's not what the reading is saying, that's just an example. But the Sun here crossing you is acting almost like a torch, highlighting different parts of your emotional and psychological corners that may need some tending to, that might need some healing, that are holding you back from moving on to calmer waters. I see that we've then got the supporting energy here in the, move these cards a little bit, in the 8 of Wands. So this has come around quickly. I'd say whatever's happened here, to bring you into this Nine of Wands energy where you are, healing deep and past wounds to do with your emotional stability, have come in kind of thick and fast. The Nine of Wands is a very fast-moving energy. It's fire, it's passion, it's drive, forwards. It's a forward-moving force. It's either being triggered by someone or something, or it could even just be a divine force. You could have woken up one day and had a aha, eureka moment, like a cosmic download, or it could be that someone literally did or said something to you that triggered this. And now you're kind of stuck there questioning, like, what just happened? And then you're faced with this almost abyss of other connecting emotional wounds related to that. Or you've spotted a pattern. But the one thing you should notice about the Nine of Wands, the soldier in the Nine of Wands, he's down but he's not out. He's got his golden boots, which match the colour of the sun here. There's a path forward, and if you notice as well, the gold here matches the gold of the trousers of the man driving the boat, the boatman, representative of standing still and moving forwards, all highlighted by the sun. This is clarity, it's happiness, but it's also clarity. What the clarity you achieved here will lead you into your happiness, your abundance, your wish fulfillment, but only if you hop on the boat and move forwards. Right. Let's get the rest of the cards. So I'm going to do the rest of the cards here, see what path we're going to take forward out of this Maya and get a little bit more insight into what's going on in your situation. Move some things around. I'm still playing around with the setup. Things will change as the channel grows and transforms. Okay. Can't quite get all the cards on, but that's fine. We can work around it. Oof. The Devil. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Swords. And the Seven of Pentacles. So whatever this is that's happened here has really shaken your foundation. Feeling very upside down at the moment. I mean, overall I think the energy seems quite calm considering that Eight of Wands is here. I'm not seeing tons of chaos going on in your head. I think you've probably got a good head on your shoulders about this situation. You know exactly what you do, what you need to do. But implementing that and actually doing it. So thinking about that and actually implementing it are two different things, and that's where the Devil comes in. Now I know people panic when they see the Devil card. No, it doesn't mean anyone's evil, no one's cursed, no one's hexed. The Devil card, especially in this position, representing the self and the higher self, is talking about attachments to people, places, things, ways of thinking, old patterns. And I think you may be very much aware of it, with it being in the self position. I mean, if the Devil had appeared, you know, in this energy, which is the energy that surrounds you, you might not be aware of it. I'd argue, yeah, there might be some digging that you need to do. But I think you are aware of it because the sun is also here highlighting all this, all of the Wands energy here, all this kind of madness of the psyche. But it's wanting to burst through. I mean, we've got a sword of clarity here and we have the literal sun. It's wanting to burst through, it's wanting to shine light on the things that need to be worked on, the things that need to be healed. There is a reluctance here. The Devil is the acknowledgement that those things are here, the acknowledgement that that's what's holding you back. But also a movability. You see the Adam and Eve here on the card, they're chained to the Devil. But they're loose chains. I mean, look how loose these chains are. I mean, around their necks, they can walk away any time. And the Devil's even holding fire to them to make them move. but they don't. They don't. They're not ready to. But I see from the rest of the spread that you really caught yourself in quite a quagmire here. You've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is all to do with your stability or lack thereof, which I think is, which really does support the Eight of Wands here, that whatever's happened here has been sudden and unexpected. And I think it's taken you to places emotionally or perhaps psychologically that you did not expect to go. There is an energy of moving forward, so you will move on from this. But this does not look like a fast process. You may not even be done with this. It's the halfway point throughout the year. So it's where we look on the past and we project into the future. And this spread, the cards are really asking you, what is it that you want to project in your future? Do you want to stay behind your wands, poking out? Or are you going to welcome in the sun? Are you going to welcome in this clarity, acknowledge this clarity you've achieved and really reach the full embodiment of the King of Cups here? In your hopes and fears, we have the Four of Swords. So this is all about rest and a fear of moving forwards. But then there's also hope in rest. I mean, if you look at these swords, there's three pointing down over the third eye, throat and heart chakras, or sacral chakras, which really highlights an alignment, because especially with the fourth sword running down the entirety of his body there. This is somebody that's not only just paused to rest and think, but they've also paused to realign themselves with what they believe their truth is, with their belief of what they think they bring to the world, what they bring to the table, what they bring to the situation. But again, more stagnant energy up here with the Seven of Pentacles. See, the Seven of Pentacles is someone stuck waiting, which indicates to me that this may be a repetitive pattern that's been stuckness. That something has come along and shaken that, and I think it's a case of like, let's wait and see, let's see if this thing resolves itself. It very well might, but it also might take you to actually come out from the wands, or take that wand and use it to push yourself, Six of Swords, onto calmer shores, because that's what the Six of Swords represents, going from unsteady shores to calmer shores. The sky is clear, nothing is in your way, apart from perhaps yourself. I mean, the Seven of Pentacles, I know it's an outcome card nobody really wants, because it kind of indicates waiting, but what it's telling me is that something is going to kick-start an emotional process that is necessary for you to move into a direction that you need to go. And it's going to come in fast. It may shake your foundations, and that could just be like your beliefs. Now please, I'm not trying to scaremonger anyone here. I'm not saying that something's going to come in, lightning's going to strike your house and, you know, crumble the foundations of your house. That's not what I'm saying. This could be something very small, but still quite significant. You know, it could just be, I don't know, think of a small but significant thing. Again, say you invite a friend to a party, the friend says, no, I don't want to go to the party. No, that's fine. But then you might find out why they don't want to go. Maybe there's someone else at the party that did something to them that you didn't know about, and now you're questioning your friendship with this other person, and so on and so forth. That's still an emotional shake-up, so it'd be like, well, this person is not who I thought they were. Could be something that small, you know. We're not saying that small friendships are important, and knowing who you're friends with are important, but, you know, you understand what I mean. And I'm not saying that's what these cards are saying, they're not saying that at all. They're just saying there's something that's going to shake your foundations in June, that are going to set you on a course that was probably unexpected. And it's new, so you are going to feel unstable if it's new. but there are some lingering old attachments here. So this is, with the devil being here, I think you already know what it is. I think this is something that's already happened. For some of you. For some of you it might be something incoming. So it could be the beginning, it could be the end. But I will be uploading some monthly signs readings, so be sure to check those. And with a lot of disruption going here, I know that the Seven of Pentacles might seem like a disappointing outcome, like, oh God, is this just going to continue on and continue on? No, I think that this is actually probably a good thing, because it seems like it's going to be something that's quite large. So maybe the universe is asking you just to pause, take a breath, wait it out. Things may not be as they seem. Wait for the sun to do its work of illuminating everything that is going on here, and it will come. It's something to do with your emotions. It's going to give you an emotional boost. This is, and the Hierophant isn't here, which is usually like lessons and teaching, but this is very much, feels like some kind of emotional crash course in emotional development coming in for you in June. But you've got your mighty sword of justice behind you. So it's going to be quite a wild ride for you in June. So what I'm going to do now is just close off the reading with one of my crystal decks. Sorry, I just dropped the crystal decks. I wanted to show you the box. It's a deck of crystals. I'll put a link below for all the decks that I'm using as well, in case you're interested. And I like to close readings with crystal decks because it kind of gives you an energy of, to give us a bit of clarification on the reading, but also an energy for you to focus on and move forward to get you through the issue at hand here. Also, they sometimes offer up a little bit more of a reflection, a little bit more clarity. Okay, so you have emerald, which I believe was the stone that we opened with. That's interesting. So emerald is love and fortune. So there is, I mean, we've got the two pentacles here. So if this is a financial thing, so it's a financial shake-up, because the Ten of Pentacles is very much about family, about legacy, but it can also be about material abundance. So being able to support that family legacy materially. So if it is a money situation that's going on here, maybe it's something to do with your relationship with money. Some people have a financial fear. It could very well be that is shaking up your foundation. Maybe something happens. But it seems that you've also got fortune on your side. So this may be an opportunity where you think, oh, are we taking a bit of a risk here? Are we taking a little bit of a leap? I don't want to be unstable. I don't want to feel like I'm going to go without. And this is why taking pause up here with the Seven of Pentacles would be a right thing to do. This is the farmer taking care of his pentacles, which is then further supported by the Love and Fortune emerald. Emerald is a stone of wealth. So it could be a situation that looks rocky financially could actually end up paying off. But this is very much a long-term journey for you. I think something that starts and probably carries on forwards to other months. But do check back, because I will be doing these regularly. So who knows, your next pick a card reading when we're further along, it might reveal what exactly it is that we're waiting for over here. It's very exciting, really, because even though the Seven of Pentacles is waiting on his harvest, one is starting to drop, so something is moving. Something is moving. The Sun is here at the end of the day. You've got the happiest card in the deck. And even though the Devil is here as well, the Devil comes here not as a warning, but as a teacher. There is something that you have to face in this Nine of Wands forest, illuminated by the Sun, that is coming quickly based on your emotional alignment and your knowledge of the past, that will drive you forwards. And you are going to into something new. This is newness. You are going to feel a little bit uneasy to start, but if you just relax into it, keep your alignments, heart, body and soul, spirit in alignment, and be patient, your harvest will come through. Okay, I'll just read the emerald for you. So emeralds are associated with the month of May and the planet Venus, especially lucky when worn on a Friday. Emerald is a stone of love and renewal. It embodies unity, promotes compassion and inspires artistic creativity. The emerald attracts good luck, invites receptivity, especially in romantic endeavours. And we don't have any cups energy here. So I don't see any. Oh no, sorry, we have the King of Cups. So this could very well be an emotional connection. But something in the world is going to shift, at least the start of the movement of the inner world is going to shift, and it's going to make your material world look very different by the end of it. So I'm excited to see what goes, or how this goes. So do come check back with the other readings, see if we can make progress on this situation. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for spending time with me here. If you like this video and it resonated with you, don't forget to click the like button or subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you are interested in a personal reading with me, the links will be down below in the description box. Anyway, my lovelies, have a wonderful day, afternoon, night, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Hello and welcome group 3 to your pick a card tarot reading. I'm just going to jump straight in with our Wildwood deck, supported by our lovely, beautiful selenite crystal. Okay, let's give the deck a good shuffle here. If the reading resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me grow. And this is a collective reading, so take whatever resonates and leave the rest. And don't forget, your intuition and your understanding are your greatest guides. Okay, right. Let's see group 3. Okay, so I start with the cross, then we will go into the pathway, which really gets us into the nitty gritty, but let's just get all the cards aligned here. Okay, right, let's see what's going on. We have, the Two of Vessels, crossed by balance, which is traditionally justice. We've got the Five of Bows, traditionally the Five of Wands. We've got the Pole Star, traditionally a star card. We've got the Moon on Water, which is traditionally the moon. And we have the Ace of Arrows, which is traditionally the Ace of Swords. Wow, this is a very powerful reading. Group 3, what have you been up to? I think you'll enter in one way and leave it totally different. I mean, so if we just take a quick look at this cross here, we're starting off strong with the Two of Vessels. I mean, I know traditionally this may be a card of romance, but not necessarily. It's also a card of finding inner balance, which I believe to be the case in this context because it is supported by the crossing energy of balance, which is traditionally justice. So the balance here in nature is about snake dance, the snake balance, snake dance of balance, should I say. So we've got two snakes here entwined quite evenly, and both interestingly looking at each other. So this is the acknowledgement of either two people, one soul connecting to another, or it is you connecting to yourself, or a part of yourself that is either being neglected, left behind, or needed healing, is now come into a fruition. So it's a real open heart, feel good energy here. And you're in the process of this because balance, aka justice, is the crossing energy. It's supporting this inner process or outer process if you are actually linked to another person here. But in the immediate past here, we've got empowerment, 5 of bows. So there has been some struggle. So traditionally, the 5 of bows is normally the 5 of wands, which is traditionally the card of challenge, of struggle, of competition. But in the Wildwood, it's almost like this is the immediate aftermath, and yeah, the interesting imagery we've got here. So this is like the aftermath of battle. This is right, there's been a challenge, there's been a situation, we have dealt with it. We are now going to imprint this into memory, which is the, I don't know if you've ever seen them in the UK and England. They've got these are ancient, like I think they're salt or excuse me, I can't remember what material they use. But it's a very, very ancient carvings into mountainsides that depict universal archetypes. And here we have the warrior. He has been in battle. In fact, he's been in that many battles. He's legendary. They've immortalised him in a hill. So you are somebody who is, you know, no stranger to adversity, and you've been through a lot, but you've actually now putting your weapon down and joining union. So it's you have been through a lot together with this person, or you have faced a lot of heartbreak and now coming into finding somebody that is going to be an energetic match, a balanced match, your person, what we should see. So we've got the pole star here, so this is wish fulfillment. So yeah, indeed, if you've been out looking for your person after maybe failed date, or failed relationship, the North Star is here guiding you towards them, or you have found them anyway. And this is a wish fulfillment card, and this is very much, with it being in the crowning position at the top, it's very much of the mind. It's very cerebral. It's looking at the past, so it's an acknowledgement of the past as part of the path for you to get to where you need to be. Supported down here by the moon on water. Now, the moon on water it's again traditionally the moon. It's about the hidden. But the moon on water in the world would speak very much of how you can use what is hidden, what is in your subconscious, to reflect back at you and help you to learn. And that is supportive of those in the collective, where this is very much an inner spiritual or emotional union of the self. Or you may literally have found a partner that mirrors back to you in a complementary way that fits, that gives you fulfillment, and you fulfill them. The give and take energy. You may be two very different people, but your differences complement each other. There are also certain relationships where you might even trigger each other, but not intentionally. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Like if anybody is triggering you in a negative way, which is shouting at you or abusing you in some way, no, that's never ever right. That's not somebody that you want to energetically align with in your life. When I mean by somebody who triggers you, they could trigger you with a kind gesture. So for example, they could say, do you want a cup of tea? And that triggers the fact that nobody in your life has ever made you a cup of tea before. That kind of triggering. But what it does, it brings it to the surface so that you can face that trigger and actually heal within a union. Because people talk a lot of healing yourself before you find somebody else. And yes, there is wisdom in that, but also nobody is perfect. Nobody comes to a relationship fully balanced, fully formed, fully healed, fully perfect. Everyone has their battle scars. It's how you deal with those scars as and when they arrive to maintain the balance, because things with balance, it's not just one job and done. Balance requires maintenance. That's literally what karma is. It's a balanced energetic system that constantly tips and rebalances, tips and rebalances, tips and rebalances the cosmic scales. And so this is really what this represents, especially the, I mean, if you imagine the movement of snakes, you know, these snakes won't just be held in place. It's almost like you feel the movement here of them twining around each other. And I think this reflects beautifully with the moon reflections. They are literally mirror opposites here. So you may be finding yourself attracted to or attracting someone or with somebody who on the surface of it might appear to be your mirror opposite. But through your opposites you come together to form a whole. And all this guided by your North Star, your wish fulfillment. This would be a very, very powerful connection. Very powerful. And then in your immediate future, the Ace of Arrows. So the Ace of Arrows is the Ace of Swords, which is usually clarity. So not only does this union give you the emotional balance that you need, the reflective balance that you need to, oops, sorry, got these wrong way around. To see, I did that subconsciously, and do you know what? Whenever I do anything in tarot, it's never it matters. It all means something. The fact I switched these even suggests that you're in an energetic and almost like polaric dance with another energy here. It's quite beautiful, really. And even with this Ace of Arrows, so sorry, I was talking about the Ace of Swords, is clarity. So yeah, this is also a mental union, not just an emotional one. This is a meeting of minds. These are two people that are on the same mind frequency. And the breath of life. So the Ace of Arrows in the Wildwood is kind of a halfway between the Ace of Swords and like Judgment almost, because that's a lot of air energy. This is an air card, and the arrow is pointing straight through the air. So this signifies you finding your way out of the maze, the woods, the forest, however you want to describe this murky, confusing type of time, which you're probably experiencing over here with the Five of Bows. I think you've come from a place of chaos. Now everything seems clear. With this person, place, thing, or yourself, the meeting of two sides, now actually just like literally pointing the way for you. Pointing the way out, the way away from this conflict, which is, yeah, I think it's over. Whatever was causing your problem here is gone now. This is done. You can rest. So let's put out some extra cards here on the way path. Oops, excuse me. To get a few more details on what's going on in your situation for some powerful cards here. I mean, I love when the pole star turns up. It means you are well on your way. Excuse me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the cards on the screen. I am new here, so I still have a lot of tweaking to do with my setup. But stick around and you'll see things improve, I promise. Right, so we have the Four of Arrows, which is traditionally the Four of Swords. We've got the Eight of Arrows, which is traditionally the Eight of Swords. We have the King of Arrows, which is traditionally the King of Swords. And we have the Shaman. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So we have moved here from quite a balanced energy and a lot of archetypes going on here. So you don't have that many elements. I mean, you've got bows, we've got fire here. We've got water here right in the centre of your reading. So this is coming from an emotional place. And then we've got arrows, 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 shaman. So the shaman is traditionally the magician. So whatever process you're going through here, you're going to end up manifesting stuff like crazy, all from the mind. This is very mental. This is overthinking almost. So the Four of Arrows is rest. So this is you now. This is your higher self. This is also your advice. So I'll bring it a bit closer because it's a bit off screen there. So this is rest. I like this depiction of rest. Of the Four of Arrows, otherwise the Four of Swords, because in the traditional Rider-Waite, the Four of Swords is just a man resting underneath his swords, and there's not really much indication of what's going on there in his internal being. Whereas here we can see exactly what's going on, and this is cocooning. See, the man here, he hasn't been hit by any of these arrows, so this implies he's come from a battle, which I think was from over there. He's not actually been hit, but he's still exhausted his energy trying to stay alive in this battle, right? Trying to keep his hope and his faith alive. And he's right on the edge. It reminds me of the edge of the Fool. He's about to go over, his foot's just resting over the edge there. So it's about being in one place and taking pause before moving on to another place. And you can't help but be drawn to this huge butterfly that's above him. I mean, I don't know, excuse me, if that was meant to be the butterfly just closer to the viewer, or it is in fact a giant butterfly. Nonetheless, this is a period going from one resting state into action. This is the butterfly, the caterpillar cocooning and becoming the butterfly. And the butterfly has what? Two poling opposite wings that mirror each other. See all these mirrored images here, which puts me in mind of the balance card and our two of vessels, the balance that you are achieving now. And this is your higher self, this is your advice. The advice is just keep doing what you're doing. Just not doing anything. But the thing is, you are doing a lot, because you see here in the energy that surrounds you, and you may not be aware of it, we've got the Eight of Arrows, we've got struggle, we've got overthinking, we've got piercing thoughts and ideas. But it's a process you need to go through. So you might feel like you're stuck. You might feel like you're overthinking things, which is like this mist over here in the Ace of Arrows. And this is your immediate future, remember. So this card has not happened yet. This is very much reflective of the now. Sorry, these two are reflective of the now, possibly even here up with the King of Arrows, the Kingfisher, which we'll get into in a minute. But this is the now. This is the now. These are the now. That's the past. This is the future. So in the now, this Eight of Arrows is your smoke. So this energy coming into you now is something that you're finding very confusing, probably because they're not the person you expected, or they're totally opposite of you, or it might not be a person. You may have discovered something about yourself that was surprising, that you're a certain way you didn't think that you were, and it's about embracing that. But you're going to fight yourself the whole way. You're fighting your way towards this union, if that makes sense. I mean, you've had a lot of fights back here, but I sense you were alone when you did this. This is even an internal battle. Well, no, the whole thing is an internal battle. I don't think you're physically battling anyone, but there's a struggle of acceptance here to another half of yourself, and it's your mind that is not rejecting it, causing the mist and the mire. It's creating a barrier, but it's not. I'm not sensing it to be a thick barrier. Not like a sword would feel like it was a really thick barrier, but no, the world would. It's suggesting a much softer barrier. Like even the Eight of Arrows is not as intense in the Wildwood as it is in the Rider-Waite. So in the Rider-Waite, it's a woman who's like trapped by swords. This person is not trapped. They're still moving. They're still wandering through life. They're still doing something. They're trying to find their way among all these arrows which have been broken. In the original Rider-Waite, the arrows are standing up straight. They're solid. They're like, yeah, this lady's trapped. But these arrows have come down. They're falling. They're weak. They're crashing down. But she still hasn't gotten to where she needs to go. And again, I don't read genders, it's male or female. there's a, I don't know why I want to say test. It's not a test. That's the wrong word for it. It's more like a maze. And you know you're over your lantern trying to find your way out to it, the way towards your other half. That's either the other half of yourself or this other person, the acceptance of this other person, embracing this other energy that's coming in towards you to balance you out, to reflect maybe some of your deeper hopes and wishes, fears. And then in your hopes and fears, we've got the King of Arrows, which is the King of Swords. So this actually shows you coming out of this, reaching a beautiful clarity. This is very much a process that you need to go through. I don't think you are fighting it. I think you are accepting that this is the path you go to, because you've gone straight from 8 to King. You've gone straight from one of the most challenging cards in the deck to one of the more clearer blue sky thinking kind of cards. And here it's a kingfisher, so he's just cutting straight through the air, getting to where he needs to go, and the water is calm. It's a stark contrast from this. I mean, the water in the background of the Eight of Arrows is, I mean, it's not crazy, but you can see it's moving. And it's moving in and out different crevices and around things. This is a reflection of probably the mental gymnastics that you're probably going through at the moment. But you do reach this, in your hopes and fears, reach this calmer shoreline. This is the hope of, I hope all this thinking pays off. And it looks like it does. But then you could also, the fear could be, well, if I do all this thinking and then there's nothing. But there isn't nothing. There's never nothing after a period of thinking. Deep thinking. It's calmness, it's openness. I mean, that's why we meditate, right? To get rid of our thoughts. Even if you arrive and there's nothing, that means you have reached a level of inner peace that will help drive you forward, give you the wings to drive you forward, give you wings to become the kingfisher. The kingfisher knows what it wants, and it targets what it wants, and it hits that target. And if it doesn't hit it again, it tries again, it tries again, it tries again. But I don't think you're going to need to do that, not with what's going on here. I think the path is quite well lit. You know the direction you need to go in from the pole star, or the person you need to move towards. Or that's the universe bringing the person in towards you. They have a clear path towards you. I'm meeting here in this heart union. So this is either someone you have recently met, or someone you are going to meet. Or a path that when you finally get on your pole star path, which will lead you to this person, place or thing that ignites you. But you're doing a lot of thinking, a lot of mental aerobics on the way. That's making any sense? But then, and what is brilliant to see here is the shaman. You're closing everything off with the shaman. The shaman is the magician. But the shaman, what's different from the magician in the Rider-Waite? The magician is, you know, he's got one arm in the sky, one below. So he's manifesting. The shaman is a manifester, but he's also a knower. He's also a wise man. He knows things. He has been through some stuff. Right, so he's not just sitting there making vision boards. He's walked the walk, he's talked the talk, and his tattoos and everything, and all these patterns on his clothes, and the fact he's got a bear hat. Everything's a marking of what he's been through before, and he's got all the tools, and he's got a balance of elements. We've got water, we've got fire, we've got what's something like water, fire, air, and earth. And he's making things happen. And he's not in the same position, arm up, arm down, as the magician is, because he's more like, almost like he's embracing. It's an embracive action that he's putting his arms out, almost like he's going to hook you. And I think this is about acceptance. Until you can accept, until you can calm your mind, see clearly what's around you, embrace what's around you, embrace whoever this is or whatever this is. Then you'll start manifesting your heart's desire from over here, from the star. It's a journey of reflection, and it's going to be a huge month. Here you are reactive. You are in a state of defense. After many battles, you are healing, you are thinking, you're being mirrored, or you are mirroring. You are clearing your mist to find your way out. And then you are going for it, or the thing that you want. I mean, look, it's the same smoke. But instead of using this smokiness, this fog that you're currently in, that you are thinking your way through, it's almost here like the magician is using that to manifest what it is that he wants. He's using this experience. This is an almost alchemic process of transformation. There's two things going on here. Recovering from the past, which has left you battered and bruised, but stronger, and a bit of a legend, right? To finding this whole union that's come from a very unexpected place. Your subconscious is coming forth. It's like entering a period of chaos, going from a period of chaos into a period of calm. So I think what's surrounding you is calm, but internally, you're kind of going at it with yourself over this person, place or thing that's coming in, or whether or not you deserve or can match this person, place or thing coming in because of what's happened to you in the past. But this is your badge of honour. I mean, it's the same material used to make this warrior as is to light the path, the breath of life, the Ace of Arrows. So this is really calling you to use what's happened in the past, not as something to hold you back, but something to propel you forwards, to help you manifest your heart's desire, for you to embrace things that you wouldn't even normally embrace. New people, new places, new things, things that reflect back at you what you give, may trigger your subconscious to deal with things that you did not know were there, maybe some scarring from over here. And give yourself, most importantly, give yourself time for the transformation to take place. This is the alchemical process here in the Four of Arrows. This is going to be a deep, deep philosophical month for you. And quite exciting. Because you're going to find either another person or another half of yourself that makes you feel so whole that you're going to just start manifesting your wishes, hopes and dreams. It's very interesting. Very interesting. If this reading resonates with you, I am doing other or signs checking, star signs checkings. It's astrological signs checking, should I say. So I'll be reading for sun, moon or rising signs, or Venus signs. So check back in there, one of my other videos. See where you're at in this process, because this is just a month overview. Things are going to be looking very, very different for you. Very different indeed. This is a very exciting time. So the advice here is just to rest, go easy on yourself, give yourself time. Try and don't be too hard on yourself for overthinking at this time or thinking too much. You've got a lot of things that you have to consider. It will calm down. Have faith that it will calm down. Try and not stop the thoughts. I mean, meditation might be something that you're interested in. If not, I mean, I'm not a huge meditator. I prefer to, my meditation is kind of doing a repetitive task like crocheting or something, you know. Kind of helps soothe the mind, and you'll find that once the mind is still, you actually kind of get your aha moments, your eureka moments, but it's usually following this period of messy thinking, right? You've got to pick through whatever it is you're thinking about. Find the nugget of gold. Find your arrow in the fog. It'll propel you with a new manifesting energy. You're going to start, you're in a period of introversion, but you will be moving into a period of extroversion where you will use this to create the life that you want. Anyway, I'm going to leave the reading there. But I'm going to close off with a deck of crystals card. I don't do oracle cards. Maybe I will. But at the moment, I'm just using my deck of crystals card. Just to give a closing energy to the reading, and the reason I like using the crystals is because it might be, I mean, if this reading really resonates with you, you might have one of these crystals at home, or you might be interested in getting one of these crystals, or just meditating on the energy that the crystal brings forward. It acts as both a closing to the reading and also just a little piece of energy to take with you as guiding advice. So let's see what crystals we've got for you today. Okay, your crystal is amber. Oh, do you know what? That's a really nice closing crystal because it's very warm. It's a warm energy from amber, and it's calming and intuition. That's exactly what's going over here, Sorry, down in the moon and water. So the moon and water is your intuition. Here of the Four of Arrows is your rest. You're being asked to focus on these two at the moment to carry you through the rest of the journey in this lovely warm amber glow. Because the colours in the wildwood can be kind of muted sometimes. This adds a little bit of warmth that I think that you need at the moment, and it matches the warmth of the heart. Follow from the heart, open your heart. It might help you clear your mind. I believe that's a message from the amber. Anyway, let me read. So amber is associated with the planet Saturn, and those ruled by the sun. So yeah, there's that warmth coming through. To be honest, the heart now I'm looking at it looks like it's coming from a sunrise. Amber is a purifying stone, encouraging the flow of positive energy in both the body and home. It banishes negative influences and promotes intuition. Use amber to aid in self-healing. It helps turn painful experiences into opportunities for transformation. What did I just say? I just said that, didn't I? This is a transformative month. Amber confirms it. It's a warm month. It's a summer month. You're transmuting now. Something from the past into your future. Something that I think you probably once carried as a burden could probably become your greatest strength. I see this being a start to finish process probably for the entire month. Some people might achieve this in a day, who knows. Take it as it resonates. But thank you all. That's all I have for you for this month. Please come back and check out the other videos. I will be doing readings by astrological sign coming up soon, so check those out in a couple of days, or if you're watching this at a later date, it's probably already there. These are all timeless readings, and I just want to thank you for taking your time with me today, spending some time with me, and if this reading resonated with you, please give me a like or subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you're interested in a personal reading with me, the links to those bookings will be in the description box below. Anyway, have a lovely morning, afternoon or night wherever it is you are watching from, and take care. Bye.